Hey, good morning. It's Wednesday morning. I hope you're doing well today. I hope you've had a great start to your week. That your Tuesday went well yesterday, and that all is going well for you today. I'm excited for Wednesday. Wednesdays are always our Bible study time here at St. Matthew's, and I'm looking forward to Bible study tonight. I'm going to do something a little bit different tonight. Many of you, I'll let you a little inside baseball. Jamie Stringer is just essential in all of our technology, and Jamie has worked overtime these last few months and hoping to make sure that everything works like we want it to. And Jamie's a volunteer, and so he's gonna be out of pocket tonight, as well he should be. So I'm gonna try something tonight on Bible study a little different. I think about trying to Zoom Bible study. I've never done that before. I've usually just done for Bible studies. I've just done it on Facebook Live, and then shared it on YouTube as well. But I'm thinking about trying something on Zoom tonight, just to see what happens. So if you're on Facebook tonight rather, I'm going to share a link and see how this works. It may be a hot mess and a disaster, and if so, that's okay, because I'll learn something and I'll try something new. So join us tonight at 6 o'clock, and I'll share the link on Facebook and other places for this Zoom Bible study. I'm just interested to see how it goes. So I'll invite you to join us tonight. It ought to be a fun time, and if not, it'll be a memorable time. So that'll be fun for us tonight. So join us tonight at 6 for this Zoom Bible study that we're going to do. Tonight we're reading one of my absolute favorite stories in all the Bible. This is going to come from Matthew chapter 8, verses 28 through 34. When he come to the other side, to the country of the Gadarenes, two demoniacs were coming out of the tombs to meet him. They were so fierce that no one could pass that way. Suddenly they shouted, "What have you to do with us, Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before the time?" Now a large herd of swine was feeding at some distance from them. The demons begged him, "If you cast us out, send us into the herds of swine." They said to them, "Go." So they came out and entered the swine. And suddenly the herd rushed off the steep bank of the sea and perished in the water. The swineherders ran off going on to the town. They told the whole story what had happened to the demoniacs. Then the whole town came out to meet Jesus. When they saw him, they begged him to leave their neighborhood. This is one of my favorite stories in all the Bible. It's such a cool story. It's told. I think it's in Luke's Gospel, where it gives a more in-depth reading of this and tells the whole story. There's a lot of deep. Matthew doesn't stress certain things. But I love this story because the fullness of the story is that it says they go to the other side. The other side is the other side of the lake, and my granny used to always tell me when I was a little boy to keep me inside the house. There's a boogeyman out in the woods. If I went out in the woods, that boogeyman would get me. And every mother tells, particularly little rambunctious boys, "Hey, don't go out there, because if you go out there, this thing will get you." Growing up in South Mississippi, there was always talk about the Chattawall monster out in Chattawall, Mississippi. There's a Black Panther somewhere out in the woods around Bogota. On real quiet nights, if you just listen, you could hear the cries of the panther. It sounded like I was always told it sounded like a child crying, and it would eat you if it ever got near to you. So every culture, every family has these stories of don't go out in the woods because of this. Well, okay, for the Jewish mamas out there, they would always say, "Don't go over to the other side of the lake." Because the other side of the lake, you know what you're going to find? You're going to find Gentiles with pigs, and they're going to have cemeteries. It's going to be awful. And so they go to the other side of the lake, and what do they find? The Gadarenes, it's sometimes called the Decapolis. That is a Gentile, a Roman colony. That's why there are pigs there. Some people wonder, why are there pigs in the Holy Land? Because Jews would consider pigs unkosher, not to be kosher. They were forbidden from eating them. They were the worst of all the creatures. Well, okay. This is a Gentile city. That's why there are pigs there. So the disciples go across the sea, and what do they find? They find demons and pigs and Gentiles and graveyards and all the stuff that they feared. Their mama's stories were right. They sailed across the sea, and they found everything that they were afraid of. right there, waiting on them almost. What does Jesus do? He heals them, brings life and restoration. And on some level, this parable is a story. This story shows us that those things that we're afraid of, Jesus has power even over that. I've often joked my worst fear is being on top of a tall building being chased by a snake with a needle. Like, that's just my worst fear. This text shows us that everything that these Jewish boys were taught to fear by their mamas and daddies is true. But Jesus is greater. Those things that you fear now may be true. Maybe you fear economic uncertainty. Maybe you fear illness. Maybe you fear isolation. Yeah, we're dealing with all those things, aren't we? We're dealing with all those things. Those things we fear might not be pretend. They may be real. But what do we find in this text? That Jesus is greater than those things that we're afraid of. And Jesus even brings peace to those things that we're afraid of. So it's not that the things that we fear, they may be real. But Jesus is greater. He's greater than our fears. The other part of this passage that's so interesting to me is what happens at the end. Jesus brings healing, and the whole town came out to meet him. They begged him to leave their neighborhood. Think about Jesus, he'll mess with you, y'all. If you get close to him, he'll mess with your world. He'll mess with everything about you. And sometimes we're tempted to be like the folks in this text and say, I don't know about that, Jesus. I might just want just enough Jesus to get me into heaven. But I don't know if I want enough Jesus to really change my life. I think I want to live my life the way that I want to live it and still get into heaven. That's kind of what I want. And so, when they encounter with Jesus, when they encountered Jesus in this text, when they said, hey, we don't want you here. We want you to leave. And I think that's heartbreaking and sad. They had the very Prince of Peace, the very power to save the world, the very power to change everything, right there in their midst. And they said, no, we'd like for you to leave. Sometimes in our life, we can be afraid of what Jesus is calling us to do.
I don't understand.
Sometimes in our life, we can be, my Siri doesn't understand, so if you listen carefully, you'll hear Siri behind me. Sometimes in our life, we don't always want to do what Jesus wants us to do. In fact, we may be more afraid of what Jesus is calling us to do than our actual fears. But Jesus is greater. Jesus is greater than that as well. So today, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of the things that we're afraid, the things that he calls us to, of all these things. He's greater than our fears. He's greater than our doubts. He's greater than our worries. Trust in him today. Friend, trusting in him, you'll find life. Hey, love you guys. I pray that you have a great day today. I hope to see you tonight at Bible study. Like I said, we'll try the Zoom Bible study thing, see how it works out. I'm kind of excited about it. And if not, it'll be a memorable failure. So, see you tonight. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Have a great night. Great day. Great afternoon. Great life. Love y'all.